Hello everyone and welcome to this new Wargame European Escalation commentary. Unlike the last few weeks, I won't be commentating a Clash of the Clans game, so the 3v3 tournament, because the last matches haven't been played yet. I'll be commentating a 1v1 game taken from the World Cup. It's obviously the match I just played, and well, I decided to commentate it because it's quite an interesting match, and you see quite a few mistakes, especially on my part. So, I'm playing NATO, playing against Mesrinelef0u, who is currently, the fifth, I think, top player on the ranked ladder. He's got 2,139 of elo. I've got only like 1,800. So it's gonna be a tough match, and like I say, usually I'm quite a good team player, not so good at 1v1, just mainly because I don't have a lot of experience. I don't really like the destruction mode in 1v1 ranked, so I haven't played in quite a while. So the big difference between Merin and myself is that he's got a lot more experience that will probably help him, and well, we'll see during the game. So I saw quite a few of his replays, and I know he doesn't defend that much his commanders at the beginning of the game, so I made two Black Hawk transports on the left and the right, hoping that I'll be able to go around and destroy one of his commanders. On my side, my commander, my VAP PC, defended by two Flak Panzers, the basic ones. I took them for their price and their range. I preferred them to the Vulcans in this game, and 4 VABs with Chasseur in them, just basic Chasseur. In terms of force, I've got my second VAB PC that will go on Foxtrot, defended by 4 VABs with Chasseur, 4 mortar units, 2 heavy hogs, 1 Gazelle, 1 Recon Gazelle, 8 patterns, 8 Ardens, and 2 anti-air with Roland 2, and 4 anti-air here with the Flak Panzer. Why did I choose this army? Well, Merin is, like most of the players, really likes the weak, small units. So I prepared myself against that kind of strategy, taking 8 light tanks, but quite good against spams with 5 AP and 5 accuracy, 8 autocannon vehicles, the Ardens, that will allow to kill infantry and vehicles quite easily, and heavy hogs also, of course, very good in that role with their rockets, 48 rockets and grenade launcher. It's really an awesome unit. And the mortars, of course, that I usually take on these kinds of maps, with a lot of forests. On Merin's side, we've got a lot of helicopters, Me-17, he really loves those. Some of them are empty, some of them are filled with PZRK Iglas, which are the best anti-air units on the PACT side, in my opinion. It's really annoying when you're playing NATO. One hit kills any kind of helicopter you have, apart from, of course, the biggest ones like the Apache or the Chinook, but it's really a pain in the ass. In terms of ground units, so we've got a light defense on Alpha, we've got 4 Kamaz units defending the commander. Over here, ground troops, like I said, it's a lot of light units. We've got MTBTRs, yeah, that's Wargame, ladies and gentlemen. BTRs with infantry, Topaz, Kamaz over here, infantry, BMP-1, ground recon, and over here Kamaz, BTR, a few Zalos to support, and Tunguska and OT 810. So basically the Zalos are the heaviest units I will have to face in this starting of the game. So I detected the Me-17s on the right and on the left. My Gazelle is pulling back. Unfortunately, he's got an Igla, and the Igla will just one-shot my Gazelle. DP 80 points for the PACT. This is a very good start for me. So I'm just sending everything I've got on Foxtrot. My VAP PC is waiting a bit behind, just to make sure I'm able to clean a bit the area before I send him to the death. So Black Hawks on the left and on the right going to the destination, making sure they are taking all the way around to avoid being detected. Over here, not a single defense left on Bravo, and the vehicles here are just charging into Foxtrot and will hope to take me down. One mistake on my side, I took only the Gazelle as recon. I forgot 1 ground recon. Stupid mistake. Beginner's mistake, if I might say. And so I just sent a recon as quickly as I can. Recruited a Gazelle cannon against the Me-17s, maybe a bit too much. but I wanted to make sure that they didn't kill me. If ever they killed my Roland 2, they would have been in a very, very good position, and me in a very bad position would have been very, very complicated. So a few ME17s coming in, hitting my patterns, because Merin, I think, knows that my patterns are really the biggest threat to his light army over here. So he takes my patterns, he targets my patterns with his ME17s. Over here, hopefully, I've got 2 Roland 2 and 4 Black Panthers taking care of his helicopters. And over here, my Gazelle are coming in to take out his, or at least to push back his ME17s. All his ME17s nearly are down, and over here I detect his army. My chasseurs have disembarked in the forest, and the Vabs have come over here, and they now detect the enemy army. So enemy army charging in the forest will pose a lot of problems. And here we go. Alpha is, I just saw Alpha is abandoned by my opponent, and it will it is moving towards Charlie. So my Delta force has just disembarked, and well, I just left him here. Thought maybe he could do all the way on foot. And this Black Hawk that was initially going for Alpha is redirected into Charlie, which of course is a good decision since the BRDM2U is going on Charlie. Over here, well, the army is present in the forest, so my mortars will enter in action and start killing Merin's army. His Motoskelki and his Zalos are taking a huge beating over here. That allows me to take a small advantage in terms of points. I killed a few of his helicopters, killing a few of his units in his army. So for now, it's a good position. I'm sending in some Delta Force over here. They just go by the Kamas and neither of us see each other. Hopefully for me, I'm not detected. And at this point of the game, I just thought, I've got a few Gazelle cannons here. I know he went for Charlie. I don't really know how much of his army is over here, but I think he's got pretty much a big part of his army over here. So I'm telling myself, he's got defenses on Bravo. I'm just going to go on Charlie and try to snipe his commander. He's probably got a few infantry units defending, but not much more. And that's the big mistake I made. I'm just sending Gazelle Cannon. I should have gone all the way around, but that was a stupid move. I just attacked directly. His Igla started to kill my Gazelles. One is down. Others won't, well, second one is down, but only 5 Gazelles left. And of course I'm going directly into his trap. I've got a few Kamas, there are a few Kamas and Motosaki that are defending the area. And of course it's a big problem. So my attack over here is totally stupid, a total fail. And the only thing it does is that it gives a lot of points to Merin, who goes back in front of me. He killed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Gazelles, which is basically 175 points, which is a total stupid thing, to stay polite. So over here, he's got the rest of his army. He's trying to send it below the hill to attack me behind, but hopefully I just luckily, I was prepared to this kind of move, and I had 2 heavy hogs just stationed behind to hit anything that would come down the hill with their rockets. It pushed back pretty easily the BTRs and even the Tunguska, and now with their long routes, their long movement in the forest and their attack over here, they are nearly out of fuel. Problem is, I didn't see that they were out of fuel, so at this point, I still am afraid of a potential attack from my left side, and it's going to mobilize all my troops over here to defend my commander. Over here, 3 ME17s already. I've got a few Roland 2 ready to defend. Unfortunately, I've got very few missiles left and no crap, I forgot the word. No supplies in the area. The ME17s are just coming in. One of them is down pretty quickly. Unfortunately, they target my mortars. My mortars are killed. 2 of them are down. The ME17s are nearly dead. The Roland 2 kills one of the last ME17s. And no, 1 missile misses. One mortar is killed. So that's one big hit on my army. 3 of my mortars are killed. That will prevent them to shoot all the units in the forest, which is pretty bad. My heavy hogs do a stupid move over here. Once again, my helicopters do stupid things. So back in Charlie, Delta forces have been pushed back by the PT-71s. Here we can see the shot over here and the dead guys. Sorry, Delta forces. You can clearly see their weapons. Pretty nice. So Delta Force assault here total fail. I'm counting on this one to have a bit more success. I'm starting to fall back in terms of points. I lost my mortars, I lost my helicopters pretty stupidly, and I send in supply, and that's one other mistake I made. I called in it here, but it still was too close to Foxtrot and didn't come via hotel. It arrived over here. Hopefully in Wargame, units don't shoot automatically on supply units, and Marine didn't detect the supply helicopter quickly enough, so it just passed over its units unharmed, which is well, pretty lucky for me, but still a bad move on my part. So Gazelle Cannon still being taken, shooten by Iglas over here. So at this point in the game, I'm just pretty much hoping my Delta forces will do some damage. I can detect the BTRs, and at that point I'm saying I've got to get into that forest quickly, if not I'm gonna get killed pretty quickly. And I'm moving into the right direction. I was initially going straight forward for the Kamaz, but I told myself usually the commander is a bit on the left side over here, so I sent my Delta forces on that side, and it's a very, very good move. And over here it's a total fail, but over here my Delta forces just climb up the hill, detect the BRDM directly, and with one rocket they kill the BRDM, and that's a pretty big hit on my enemy's army. So I come back in terms of points, and in terms of revenue I'm just the same as my opponent, 3-3. So he reacts directly, sends in his BRDM on Bravo to try to recapture the sector and call in reinforcements. And at that point I'm saying to myself, well, if I'm a bit lucky I can send the Gazelle and kill his commander. But well, if I hadn't done that stupid mistake of attacking over here, I would have had a big Gazelle army and would have been able to take out the commander pretty easily. But now it's all alone, and there's one Tunguska and one Kamaz defending, so it's going to be pretty hard. And well, it's a big mistake on my part. So coming back on my sectors, I still haven't left hotel because I'm not quite sure of the units in the forest of Gulf and Delta, so I don't want to lose my commander stupidly. And in Foxtrot, I'm not really aware of the lack of fuel in Marine's units, so I just leave my patterns on Foxtrot to make sure that if he tries to rush into onto the Foxtrot sector, I've got units to defend my commander without the necessity to pull back. So on over here, the Gazelle Cannon takes the BRDM, shoots on the BRDM, but misses it and gets killed by the Kamaz. The Delta forces are the only units left that will be able to kill the commander. Sorry. And well, they are a bit slow compared to the BRDM. And one Tunguska is here, BTRs are coming in over here. So it's basically... It is basically gonna be very hard to kill the BRDM. Back on my sector, so my mortar is empty, and well, basically at this point nothing is, well, there's not much defenses on the enemy's positions. I should have probably attacked. At this point of the game he's got no more reinforcement area, he's got only light units, but I don't attack because I still want to defend my commander, but it's a stupid thing. I think I should have attacked with my patterns. Considering what I see right now, lack of fuel everywhere, but I'm not aware of that. I'm not sure how many Zalos are left, I'm not sure how many fuel he's got, how many ammunition he's got, and he can do a lot of damage. And attacking over here, considering he's also got helicopters, attacking over here means I have to send tanks and anti-air, which means I really well, take a lot of defenses out of Foxtrot, which isn't, at that time I thought, a good idea. Maybe I would have won if I would have just charged with those units, but yeah, I'm not sure of that, so I didn't do it. Over here I sent only 3 Rardens, split them to defend against the ME17, well, hoping they wouldn't all they get killed in one big rocket shooting. So I charged in. Unfortunately, a few infantry units had arrived. BMP-1s are behind. I lose 1 Rarden to the ME17. The others are, for now, calm, but they're gonna get killed pretty quickly. The Rarden is panicked and killed really easily by the ME17. And over here, well, the last Rarden is just won't do anything against BTRs, OT-1, 810, and the ME17. So, little offensive here that went pretty bad. I killed one of his commanders, but he called in another pretty quickly. And in terms of points, I'm not far behind, but Merin is still in the game. And yeah, it can be pretty bad for me. So for now, the first thing before I can send in my army in his direction, I have to clean all these forests in order to make sure that I won't be attacked by behind by his army and lose the commander stupidly. So at this point I just send in well, I will have to send in units to take out his entire force, and that's what I'm starting to do. 1 recon first to detect a bit his units that are still at the edge of the forest, sending a few tanks to take out those units quickly, and then autocannon units to go into the forest and start cleaning everything up. I have detected his Tunguska, so that's going to be my first target for the Vizels, and I am going in with the Vizels and the Patterns. Over here, not much to say. Gazelles coming in from behind, but won't do much damage. 1 Gazelle cannon is here over the forest, so now I know the forest is empty. I can send in my commander. I send in my Vabs, my commander, my anti-air in Delta to take a bit more points every second to avoid getting too far away in terms of economy. So over here, Tunguska is fleeing, but my Vizels will catch up with it really quickly. Start shooting at the Tunguska. A few infantry units are coming in to try to protect it, but my Vizels will just roll away from the Motosalki. I'm able to kill the Tunguska before I lose 1 Vizel, and at this point no more anti-air over here. Killed quite a big unit. My Patterns are pulling back while facing this menace, this infantry menace. So for now, the problem is he's still got a few cheap units in this forest that can still potentially deal a lot of damage to my army. Well, they can't really, they've got no more fuel, but that's something I don't know at this point, so I'm still focused on cleaning the entire forest. It's gonna take away the menace on my flank and give me some points, so I just send in more recon to detect everything, and will send in vehicles and infantry to wipe everything out. The problem is, while I'm taking care of everything, Merin is able to well, to take control of the map. He is putting cheap units a bit everywhere, taking control of everything. He's moving in with BMP-1s. He's got the guns off. He will try to take out my vehicles, my tanks. My Patterns have moved a bit forward and are pulling back, moving their butt, showing their butt to the enemy. Pretty stupid, but yeah, he would have survived if he was showing his front armor. So yeah, Merin taking control a bit of the situation over here. He's got a small point advantage. I'm taking Delta, so in terms of economy I'll be just a bit ahead of him, but not by much, only 1 point. I'm still behind in terms of points over here, so I really need something to push my advantage. I am sending 8 Vabs over here to take care of the forest, and some Lanks over there to take care of the few vehicles present here. What I haven't detected are the BMP-1s coming in. Hopefully the Lanks are quite good against light units, and the BMP-1s are pulling back for now. Vabs are coming in. We'll try to wipe out the entire area. 1 Rolando is sent. I know he's got helicopters. I want to defend my units against those helicopters. My Lanks are moving in and then pulling back when they see the ME-17s. And well, here we go. My Rolando is moving in, my Patterns and my Lanks are taking care of the vehicles The BMP-1s are moving up the cliff. They are taking my vehicles. Killed 2 Rice Patons, 2 very, very good shots over here. Well, it's 37 points the units. My Lanks are getting killed. I lost all my Patons, all my Lanks to these rockets, and especially the ATGM vehicles over here. They are all they have all rank 2 or rank 3, which gives them a nice precision and kills me very, very quickly. So my Rolando is killed once more. I lose a lot of points to the BMP-1s, which is pretty stupid. And to push them back, I've got very few points left, so I send in cheap units. AML 90 Lanks once more, and M113 106mm recoilless rifle to push back these units. So light units against ATGM, which is a good solution, and hopefully the BMP-1s are empty. I send in also helicopters, and the Rolando is moving forward to push back the ME-17. ME-17 stunning my Lanks. Hopefully I hit him once and he pulls back to avoid getting killed. The BMP-1s are destroyed, but I lose more points than I kill, so I'm in a pretty bad situation right now. I am taking care of all the units in the forest, but in terms of points and in terms of efficiency of units, I'm not very, very good in this game. So it's for now not looking very, really good. Chasseurs are moving towards this area to clean everything in their way. Preparing a small attack force over here. I normally have to counter-attack. If I stay on my position, it's either I call it artillery and start shooting, but I hate those kind of stuffs. Yeah. And I don't really know where to shoot. I know he's got a commander here and a commander here, but artillery won't give me enough points normally to come back in the game unless I get a very, very lucky hit. So I prepare an army to attack. So starting with autocannon vehicles, which is the usual light vehicles you use when attacking with the NATO team. So Rardens, VAB sent on the left side to take a big care to try to harass over there with the infantry. I finally cleaned the forest over here and everything is in control right now. I'm 240 points behind my enemy. It's still doable, but it's going to be very, very hard. And once again, you can see the experienced players in 1v1 use really, really light units. OT 18810, Topaz TO55. The most expensive units he's got is actually the anti-air units, the Tunguska, which killed a lot of my units. And well, I played like crap in this game, especially with my helicopters. And I made now and then bad decisions, but I still managed to not be too far away in terms of points, so that's still a satisfaction. So my offensive force is starting to regroup. I've got 8 Rardens, the 3 Lanks that have survived, 4 recoilless rifle units, and 2 Flak Panzer Gepards to defend against the enemy helicopters. Of course, I know he likes a lot of the ME-17s. He's got a few left. He may call in some more. So I need to defend myself. And the capture of Echo by his BRDM-2U is the event that pushed me to attack at that moment. I really knew that if I left him Echo, it would be totally lost for me. So I just charged in with my autocannon vehicles, my anti-air and my infantry. I managed to kill a few of his units. His flamethrower tank coming within the forest with the infantry. And at that point, I should have stopped and controlled the forest. Unfortunately, I went a bit too much further. I moved a bit my anti-air too much, trying to kill the helicopters. And unfortunately, I didn't kill the helicopters. So it was a pretty bad attack on my part. The main objective was there. I mean, the commander had to pull back from Echo. But unfortunately I lost a lot of units. Recoilless rifles and Marder 1s are coming in on the flank to defend my flank. Unfortunately Zalos have come in and they are going to just kill my recoilless rifles quite easily. So I just leave my recoilless rifles to defend, to allow my Rolando and my Marder 1s to pull back. and meanwhile I call in a heavy tank. I just, well, took a bet. I thought, yeah, against all these light units, a heavy tank is going to be really, really hard to crack. So unless he's got really good ITGMs, he's got T55 AMV1, but he's not really precise. He hasn't got any rank, so it's going to be pretty easy to kill it. And I send in heavy hogs. Unfortunately, he's got one Tunguska and he's pretty lucky with it. I mean, sometimes Tunguskas miss all their missiles, and here 3 missiles, 3 hits. It's really unlucky on my part, but well, I just sent in heavy hogs a bit blindly. It was a stupid move on my part. I just wanted to stop all these light vehicles with their rockets, and in the end they just all got killed in a fraction of a second. So yeah, bad move on my part. BMP1s, even with rank 1, aren't really precise. We saw earlier that rank 3 BMP1 was really good, but it's starting to be quite expensive. So the Leopard 2A1 is quite good against light units. Of course, it can take quite a lot of hits and still do a lot of damage. At this point of the game, I've got only 8 minutes left to come back in the game. I've got a bit less than 400 points. But at 500 points, sorry, behind Merin, and I've got to do something. I've got to attack to retake the points. So at this moment, I try a full attack. I send in my patterns on the right side, hoping that the highway that is a bit lower than the ground will hide them and allow me to come right behind his army and attack from behind. Unfortunately, well, my plan to attack has been stopped since he is attacking and putting pressure on my sector Delta, so my patterns will actually help defend this sector. And on the left side, I've got an army preparing to counter-attack his forces. Usually when you want to kill enemy units and take points, you have to attack the sector that isn't defended, that hasn't got a reinforcement area, because it's quite easy to defend. Just call in reinforcements and you've got an endless supply of units. Unfortunately, the only sector that is like that is Charlie, and there's too much forest and it's too far away from my sector to really put pressure on that sector. So my only option here was to try to take out as many units as I could over here and well, kill what I could. The good thing on Marin's part here is his Spetsnaz over here. He can see pretty much everything I've got, and is just preparing to attack my flank over here with his units. And while I charge in, send in the Marder ones just into the fray, he sends in his BTRs on the flank and supported by his BMP ones. My Marder ones are just sent in to kill every single BMP one quite quickly. My flank panzers are getting killed by the other cannons over here. I send in some reinforcement to defend my flank. Normally. So over here the Patons and the Leopard are doing a lot of damage, killing a lot of units. Unfortunately, I lose quite a few tanks to the BMP ones over here. Marder 1 sent to defend my flank. Marder Roland 2 still here to defend against the helicopters if ever sent in Mi-17s. Heavy hogs and one simple hog coming in to kill all those transports. I pulled back my army to kill all of them. At that point, Delta has been lost. I pulled back my commander into Echo, so I still control this reinforcement, this economic area. Sorry, but with only 2 minutes left and nearly 600 points behind the enemy, I'm in a really bad position. I pushed back his attack on the flank. I killed a lot of his units, but lost quite a few myself. I lost a few patterns, all my Marders. My Leopard is still standing, but it's going to be pretty hard. My 4 Marders coming in as reinforcement are charging in, supported by the Leopard 2A1, of course, and the few patterns not routing. So I'm trying to kill as many units as I can. The Leopard is sniping the OT-810s. And over here, a few infantry troops coming in, killed by my patterns. I'm catching up in terms of points. I had 600 points behind. He's calling once more, shooting at my VIA PC, but I detect the shot and pull him back just before the missiles hit the ground, come back into Echo, but only 24 seconds left. Kill a few units. My Roland 2 killed one Mi-17. The VAP PC is pulling back, trying not to get killed by the Mi-17. And, well, it's pretty much the end of the game. 2,466 points for Marine and 2,022 points for myself. So only 400 points left. We had the stats at the end of the game. It was 54 points, 54% points for Marine and 45 for me. So it was quite close. I'm pretty upset I did those mistakes with the helicopters, the gazelles, the hogs. But as I said, I'm more of a team player, and I haven't got that much experience in 1v1, especially recently I haven't played a lot. So yeah, I think it's Marine's experience allowed him to do wiser decisions and avoid stupid mistakes like I did, and he pretty much won the match thanks to that. If not on the ground, it was pretty much okay. I mean, I lost a few units to the BMP-1s, but globally I killed quite a lot of units. I made nice moves. Yeah, I think it's really much the loss of all those helicopters, all those lot of points given without doing any, which cost me the victory in this game. But well, very nice game from Marine. Just decent game on my side. Quite tense in terms of command points. I had a bit more than Marine, but well, of course the kills are against me. And well, that's it for the World Cup. I have finished with the World Cup. Marine is going on, and will probably encounter a big player on the next round against another top player, Sotek. So I wish him all the luck he can get. So that's it, folks. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked it, and see you next time.